Module 2 is editing videos in Adobe Express. We are going to cover, of course, editing videos in Adobe Express. I'm going to tell you how to do a logical storytelling sequence in a video, an intro, a main topic, and a conclusion. How to edit clips, how to add transitions, how to cut out dead air, adding audio and closed captions, and exporting your video to your social media platforms. You want to have an intro, a main topic, and a conclusion. Now, depending on whether you're doing short form or long form, you have a little more wiggle room. If you're doing short form, you want to get to the point as fast as possible. You want to have a good hook that starts in the first 0 to 3 seconds. You want to have your core message between 4 and 25 seconds, and then your call to action is going to happen in the last 26 to 30 seconds. Short form is meant to be fast, it's meant to be punchy, it's less than a minute long. People's attention spans are very short and they will drop off if they feel like you're going on and you're not getting to the point. Long form, you do have a little more wiggle room, but you still want to be enticing in your very first few minutes of your long form content. You don't want to bore somebody as soon as they get there. So we're also going to talk about timing, transitions, and text overlays. We are in Adobe Express again in our home screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on the plus sign and we're going to do a YouTube video. So again, same thing we're doing, going back to social media, but instead of Instagram this time, we're going to scroll all the way down and we're going to find YouTube. Okay, so we have all of these different YouTube things we can choose from, and we're going to click on YouTube video. Now it says browse templates, but I got something better for you. So browse templates, you are able to take videos that are already in here and you can choose those. We are going to be creating a video from scratch though. I already have my media loaded in here, but you would be able to click add media and it would upload from your device, or you could just click start from scratch. I'm going to click start from scratch. So you see we have a slider there. This is our only slide right now. I'm going to go over to your stuff. I was going to say my stuff, your stuff. And you can click on uploads if you already have things in there, and it's going to show you everything you've uploaded. Okay. You also can sort this by audio and video. So I do have a video of me creating that Instagram carousel, and I left in part of my slides on purpose because I want to show you how to take things out that you don't want to be in there. Okay, so this is our video. You can see there's still a little white background. You can drag down your handles to make it fit the background completely. Now, I don't want the slides here because I just honestly want to show what we have as far as our Instagram carousel. So you can see our handle here. Once you drag it, it's going to go along with whatever you're doing in your video. So you're going to drag it and we're going to put it right where I click on Instagram carousel. It's right there. All right. So if I click play, it's going to show me what I did. And as you can see, there's sound there too. To get rid of the sound, if you're like, I don't like the sound, I don't want that there. Click on your video. There is a button right up here that says mute. Once you have that video highlighted, you'll know your video is actively highlighted when you have a blue box around it. If you don't want to click there, you also can go to the left side of your panel and click mute over here. So now your volume is at 0%. I'm going to move it back and press play. And you see you can't hear anything. Back to the beginning. I'm going to press play. I'm just going to see where we're at and see what we want to do. So this is what I would consider dead air, because we're looking for a template in this clip. We're trying to see what template are we going to use. We're scrolling. So we want to kind of get rid of all of that dead air. And we want to just get to this part that just popped up. Move my slider back to the exact right spot so we can deal with it scrolling a little bit. I'm going to put it right here at about 4 seconds. So wherever your slider is, you can split this clip. You can click on the split icon, or you can right click on that black line. I'm just going to click the split icon. You can see there's a little sliver of a clip here. And then you can also zoom in so you can see your split clips a little bit better. So these little plus and minus signs are to make the clips a little easier to see, so you can control them and manipulate them a little bit better. So now that we split that there, I'm going to take my handle and drag it right to before we click on pool party. We're going to go back from the beginning and see how it looks. We're going to just let it play. And then it gets right into it. So instead of that dead air that we had, we cut that right out with the split function and then our handle to drag that in. So we're going to go ahead and add some transitions in here. So before I change the font out, I want to split it right here. And this little circle in the middle, if you click it, this plus sign, it's going to bring up a little panel where you can upload more media, add a blank scene, or add a transition. We are going to add a transition. Here's our transition. If you hover, you can see what each transition is going to look like. So you have dip to black, dip to white, dissolve. You have move where it will push the next scene. You have slide, and then you have wipe. I'm going to go with dip to black. So let's click on that. And then we can drag our slider back a little bit so we can see how it looks when it transitions. Okay, so that's our fade to black transition or our dip to black. Now, you could add text right on top of this slide, or you can add a blank slide that will be your category slide. So we're going to be going into changing the font. I'm going to show you both ways, but I prefer the second way. So let me show you the first way. So if you go over to your text panel on the left side and click that, you can click add text, say something like adjusting your fonts. And then we're going to make it centered. Okay, so you see how it is on top of the video itself. That's fine. Totally up to you what you want to do. So that's the typing one. You can do that. That's okay. I would prefer to add a blank title slide in between these. So I'm going to add a blank scene. We have our blank scene here. And you can make this whatever color you want. You can make it a gradient, add something like adjusting text. All right. So there's your title slide. You can obviously change the font to whatever you want to change it to. I'm going to use the typewriter animation again. I'm going to make it a little bit slower and let's preview it. Okay, so I do feel like our text typewriting animation can be a little bit faster. So I'm going to change the duration to like maybe 2.5 seconds, somewhere in there, 2.6. It's a little faster. So you're telling the story and you're giving the viewer something where they can kind of gauge what to expect next. Okay, we know after that slide, we're going to be adjusting the text. If you want to do a voiceover later and just make it faster, you could do that here as well. So let me show you how to make it faster. We are going to do the voiceover at the very end, but how to make it faster is if you drag it down to where you want it to end. So when you're done with the text part of everything, we were animating text there. We're done with the animations. We're getting into the color. So we want to drag it there and we want to split it. Remember, I said you can right click on that black bar to split it, or you can use the icon. So this clip right here is 28 seconds long. So you might want to do a voiceover that's maybe 10 seconds showing somebody what to do. And you want to make this a little bit faster so they don't have to sit through 28 seconds of you changing the font. So if you highlight that layer, you're going to click on it, and then you're going to go over here to speed. I'm going to make it faster. And you see now it has made it, it's shrunk it down a little bit. So instead of 28 seconds, it's 19 seconds. You could even take it a step further and make it twice as fast. So now instead of 28 seconds, it's 14 seconds, which is half of 28, right? So now it's a lot faster. Let's see how it looks. And here's where you would be talking over it and saying, oh, if you want to adjust it, if you want to make it bigger, if you want to do this, if you want to do that. that's where you would do your voiceover. So now we need another transition slide. I'm going to click on the same one we had because we work smarter, not harder around here. So there's no reason we need to create a completely new transition slide. We just can reuse what we have and change the text. That's all we got to do. So if we highlight that, if we right click it, you can duplicate it. So I'm going to duplicate it. Now, obviously, it's right next to it. That's not where we want it. You see how we have this little hand showing up? Take that hand, press down either on your trackpad or your mouse, and you're going to move it in between that next slide. So once you start to move it, it'll show like a bigger view and you'll see exactly where you can drop that. Okay. Now we don't want the same text. We want to change this to colors. So we got our transition slide and we're going to get into the colors. Now you also, if you want to, you could crop this so the viewer can see what you're doing a little bit better. So let's just say I want to show them what I'm doing when I click on duotone. I want to show them a little bit more up close. I'm going to split that there. And then I'm going to select this and I'm going to crop it. Now you could make this background color something a little bit more festive. So we're going to keep our gradient theme. And so that slide is split just so they can see an up close view of what you're doing with the colors. But then it'll go right back into our normal full screen view. So let me show you what I mean. So we're showing how to do the duotone and we're showing the after effect of doing duotone over here. So we go right back to there. That is totally optional. You can leave it in the full screen view the whole time if you want to. I just wanted to show you what was possible with that. You want to keep the viewer engaged. So you don't want to have a lot of dead space. You don't want it to take 30 minutes to get to the point. And then we're going to do an intro slide and an exit slide. Let's just say, for example, that this is long form content. We're going to do an intro slide. We're going to use our same transition slide, right click it, duplicate it, and move it back to the very beginning. And instead of it saying adjusting text, we're going to make it a little more interesting. I'm going to add a text combination. Adobe is really good with these text combinations over here. If you scroll, you can see different text combinations. We're going to use this one, and don't be alarmed because it says matcha latte. It's okay. We're going to make this our own. I'm going to make it larger, of course, and we are going to just play around with it. So over in our layers panel, if you click on this, it'll show you everything that's in here. Some of this stuff we're going to keep, some of this stuff we're going to get rid of. So we are obviously going to change this to video editing. Get rid of these bubbles. If you're on a computer, you can hold down your shift key and select each thing, and you can get rid of them all at one time. Now, this color is not going to work for what we have going on here. So I'm going to make our main color white, and I'm going to make our outline. Let's make it, don't like that. Maybe pink, maybe purple, maybe blue. Let's just change this to Adobe Express video editing. And I'm going to make it longer. So let's just say this is a YouTube video and we're making our first slide is going to be how our thumbnail looks. We need a little bit of a graphic here. So we're going to go to add content right in the left side. We're going to click on media. We're going to click on photos and we're going to search movie. We're going to add this as a layer on the canvas. This looks kind of crazy because we need to get rid of the background. One of the most beautiful things about Adobe Express is background remover is included in the free version of Adobe Express. Just click remove background and it's going to do its magic and the background is gone now. So now we don't want these. It's an intro slide, so we have to make it a little more exciting. Let's highlight video editing and make that animated. I'm going to do it as a loop. Let's see. Do we want bounce? Do we want wind? Do we want wobble? Sway? Blinking? I'm going to go with sway. All right. So sway is how our intro slide looks. So let's go ahead and press play. All right. Looks good. We also could animate our image. So if I want that image to come in and slide from one side of the screen to another, we could totally do that. We can make it drift, and we can change how fast or how slow it's. You also can change your direction down here, and you can say start outside the page. I like that. Picasso. So let's press play. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to do an outro. We're going to copy our outro slide. Oh, not copy. We're going to duplicate it. And then we're going to drag it all the way to the very end. We also need our dip to black. All right, cool. So we have our outro slide. You can either get rid of your clapper. You can make it smaller. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to say like, share, subscribe. Okay, can make it smaller. It's still animated just like our intro slide. Do a little notification bell if you want to. So let's go back to media. Let's go to all and let's click notification bell. Well, let's type that out. Okay, now you could do a video or you could do a static image. Let's do a video. Now we don't want it that big, obviously, and we do want to get rid of that background. Yes, you can remove backgrounds on video. So I'm going to click remove background. Okay, so we finally got our bell notification. I want to make it a little bit bigger. You can press play to preview how it's going to look. I want to move it over a little bit. I'm going to press play one more time. Okay, I like it. Now, I don't feel like our outro needs to be that long. So I'm going to take my slider and drag it back and make it like 5 seconds. So we got our video here. All we need to do now is add our voiceover. So I'm going to show you how to do the voiceover. Then I'll show you how to do captions. Okay, so click sound effects. I'm just going to do a little snippet just so we have enough of a voiceover to do our captions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click record voiceover. You know that your voice is being picked up when you see these sliders, these little indicators moving around. Since I'm talking, you see the indicators moving around. When I stopped talking, it went all the way down here because it wasn't picking up any sound. And we're going to start recording. Welcome to Adobe Express Video Editing. Here I'm going to show you everything you need to know about making a professional style video right in Adobe Express. Okay, so I'm finished recording. So I'm going to play it. Welcome to Adobe Express Video Editing. Here I'm going to show you everything you need to know about making a professional style video right in Adobe Express. Now we have our closed caption button. So that is our last step before we download our video. So this little button right here, CC stands for closed captions. You're going to click it and say open captions. It opens a little panel and it says your language here and your media source. And I'm going to click generate. And it's going to automatically do it. And then you can choose how you would like to view it. So our captions have been generated and I'm going to go ahead and press play so you can see them pop up on the screen. Welcome to Adobe Express Video Editing. Here I'm going to show you everything you need to know about making a professional style video right in Adobe Express. Now we want to format it. You can leave it the way it is on the default, or you can change it to the different type of styles. So there are going to be 3 that pop up here automatically, but if you click view all, you actually have all of these to choose from, whatever you want. I'm going to choose this one that says blocks, and I'm going to press play so you can see how it changed it. Welcome to Adobe Express Video Editing. Here I'm going to show you everything you need to know about making a professional style video right in Adobe Express. Okay, so not only can you adjust your captions in that way, you can actually move them up too. You can move them into different parts of the screen. Okay, so our captions are generated. We got our transition slide, fade to black, all of that good stuff. So we're good to go. Let's watch it one more time. You can drag your slider and it's going to show you every single scene without you having to press play. So if you just want to run through it just to make sure it looks good, you can drag the slider. I'm going to actually put our captions back towards the bottom. I think I like them better that way. Looks less cluttered. And there you go. That's how you edit a video in Adobe Express. And now all you need to do is either share it. So if you have any of your Google Drive or you want to share it to somebody so they can edit it or view it, you can do that. You can also download directly from the share button, or you can click download. It's time for the quiz. We're going to pop the timer starting at 60 seconds, and I'll read all the questions out. True or false? You can't add captions to videos in Adobe Express. Now, I know everybody should know the answer. We just did that, so I hope everybody would get that one right. Number 2, to add a transition between video clips, you should A, record a transition video and upload it to Adobe Express. B, click the transition icon between clips. C, add transitions in your social media editor. Number 3 is, what is the best way to handle a long pause in your video? A, use a heavy animated transition. B, use the split and trim tools to cut out the pause. Or C, delete the clip and re-record. All right, timer is up. Let's see what the answers are. Number 1 is false. You can, in fact, add captions in Adobe Express. Number 2, the answer is B. You're going to click the transition icon between clips to add a transition. Number 3 is B. You're going to use the split and trim tools to cut out the pause. You don't have to re-record anything. You don't have to use an animated transition to distract your viewer. Just use the split and trim tools to cut out the pause. So that is the end of Module 2, editing videos in Adobe Express.